A man stands beneath the shadow of death. A nation trembles beneath the weight of its own choices. The world turns, unaware that a door between heaven and earth is about to open. This is not the rise of a king or the fall of an empire. This is a moment of vision, a moment when the unseen presses into the visible, when the voice of God does not thunder to the many, but calls one man to see, to hear, and to write. His name is Isaiah. Among the 66 books of Scripture, his words stand apart. They stretch farther, they see deeper. They speak not only to a single generation, but to centuries yet unborn. Kings feared his warnings, the broken clung to his promises, and long after his voice had faded from the streets of Jerusalem, his words would be spoken again by Jesus himself more than any other prophet. Why this man? Why these visions? Why does his writing feel less like prophecy and more like a window into eternity? What Isaiah was shown was not meant to remain hidden, yet it was never meant to be easy. His message carried judgment and hope, destruction and comfort, exile and return. It revealed a God both holy and near, terrifying and merciful. This is not just history. This is the moment when heaven leaned close and one man was chosen to write what he saw.
Isaiah lives in the days when Judah still stands, but no longer stands secure. Generations have passed since the height of David and Solomon, and a kingdom now moves beneath the pressure of greater powers. Assyria rises in the east, relentless, organized, expanding its reach city by city, nation by nation. Its armies are known for speed, cruelty, and certainty, and every smaller kingdom feels its shadow. Judah is not yet destroyed, but it is no longer at ease. Kings rule from Jerusalem, yet their authority is fragile, shaped by fear, diplomacy, and compromise. Some trust walls, some trust alliances, some trust rituals that continue even as devotion weakens. The temple remains the center of national life. Sacrifices are offered, feasts are kept. The name of the Lord is spoken often, but obedience has thinned. Justice no longer flows cleanly through the land. Leaders take advantage of their position. The vulnerable are pushed aside. Worship is divided as foreign practices gain ground alongside the traditions of Israel. Prophets are not welcomed. Voices that warn are silenced, ignored, or dismissed. The people learn to live with contradiction, calling on the Lord while shaping life by other standards. Isaiah is born into this tension. His ministry will stretch across the reigns of multiple kings, from strength to decline, from confidence to crisis. He will witness prosperity and threat, peace and invasion, and through it all, his calling will not shift. The Lord remains holy, unchanging, unbending, while the nation sways back and forth between trust and fear. This is the soil from which his words will rise, not from sudden disaster, but from long erosion, from years of neglect masked by ceremony, from a people who believe they are secure because the temple stands, unaware that judgment does not begin with buildings falling, but with hearts drifting. And it is into this slow unraveling that Isaiah is sent, to speak words heavy enough to endure the coming storm.
Isaiah's world is shaped by memory and fear. The memory of a covenant that once ordered every part of life, and the fear of forces now pressing in from beyond the horizon. Assyria does not merely threaten borders, it reshapes how nations think. Kings calculate survival, counselors argue for treaties, messengers ride hard between cities carrying warnings and demands. Tribute is weighed, gold is counted, loyalty is negotiated. Trust in the Lord is spoken of, but trust in strength and strategy quietly takes its place. Within Judah, leadership shifts with each reign. Some kings seek the Lord openly, others tolerate worship while bending toward foreign influence. High places remain, altars multiply. The people grow skilled at blending devotion with convenience. The law is read, yet its edge is dulled. The prophets who remain faithful speak into crowded spaces where their words must compete with comfort and reassurance. Peace is promised where there is no peace. Security is declared while danger grows. Isaiah moves through this landscape as a witness bound to speak. He will address kings and common people alike. He will speak in public spaces and private courts. His message will not follow the rhythm of politics or public mood. It will rise and fall according to the word given to him. Sometimes it will warn of approaching ruin. Sometimes it will speak of a future restoration far beyond the present collapse. He will speak of judgment that cannot be avoided and of hope that cannot be erased. The nation will not respond as one. Some will listen briefly, some will resist openly, many will continue unchanged. Yet the course of history will move forward exactly as spoken. Cities will be threatened, armies will surround Jerusalem, exile will come to the north, the south will tremble and survive. Through it all, Isaiah's words will remain fixed, anchored not in circumstance, but in the unchanging holiness of the Lord who speaks, who sees, and who does not forget his covenant, even as his people struggle to remember it. Isaiah's calling unfolds in a land where warning signs accumulate quietly before they become impossible to ignore. Fields still yield harvests, yet inequality grows. Courts still meet, yet justice is bent by influence and wealth. The rhythms of worship continue, but reverence is diluted, shaped more by habit than by awe. The Lord is invoked in speech, yet his commands are treated as negotiable. This imbalance does not erupt all at once. It spreads slowly, like a fracture beneath stone, unseen until the weight becomes too great. Beyond Judah's borders, Assyria advances with discipline and intent. Cities that resist are erased. Peoples are displaced. Fear travels faster than armies. News arrives before soldiers do, and dread settles into conversations and decisions. Leaders debate how to respond. Some urge trust in the Lord. Others insist on alliances with stronger nations. The temptation to rely on human strength grows stronger as danger draws closer. In this climate, Isaiah stands as a constant, unsettling presence. He speaks of holiness when the people prefer reassurance. He names corruption where others excuse it. He reminds the nation that security does not come from walls or treaties, but he does so without theatrics, without spectacle, bound to the word entrusted to him. His message exposes the gap between outward devotion and inward loyalty. It reveals that judgment is not merely an external threat, but a consequence already forming within the life of the nation. Yet even as warning dominates his speech, threads of promise appear. Not promises of immediate relief, but of a future shaped by righteousness and peace. These words sound distant, almost impossible, spoken into a present that seems to be narrowing toward crisis. Still, they are spoken and preserved. The stage is set. The nation stands between memory and fear, between covenant and compromise, and Isaiah waits, faithful to speak, as the moment of divine interruption draws near.
The moment does not arrive with warning or preparation. It breaks into history at a time when strength appears to remain and collapse still feels distant. In the year the king dies, the ground beneath the nation shifts. A reign ends, stability falters. What once felt permanent is suddenly exposed as temporary. Leadership changes hands, and with it comes uncertainty that no policy can fully contain. It is in this precise moment of transition that Isaiah is drawn into a reality beyond the reach of politics and fear. He enters the temple, the place where the presence of the Lord is spoken of, sung of, approached with sacrifice and ritual. Yet what he encounters there is unlike anything known before. The familiar space is overwhelmed, scale dissolves, boundaries fail. The Lord is revealed as enthroned, exalted, filling the space with glory that cannot be measured. The temple does not hold him, it is overtaken by him.
The foundations tremble, smoke fills the air, the atmosphere itself responds to holiness unveiled. Attendants stand above him, calling to one another words that declare the Lord as holy beyond repetition, holy beyond comparison, holy beyond containment. Their voices shake the thresholds. Creation reacts as though recognizing its maker. This is not a message delivered. This is not instruction given. This is revelation. Isaiah does not speak. He does not act. He is undone by what he sees. The vision does not explain itself. It does not soften its weight. It exposes reality as it truly is, stripping away illusion and comfort. The Lord reigns. He is not threatened by the death of a king. He is not diminished by the instability of nations. His holiness stands untouched, complete, absolute. In this moment, Isaiah is confronted not with a task, but with truth, and nothing in his life will remain the same once that truth is seen.
The vision does not retreat, it presses closer. In the presence of revealed holiness, Isaiah recognizes his own condition and the condition of the people among whom he lives. He is exposed, not by accusation, but by contrast. The purity of the Lord leaves no space for pretense. One of the attendants moves from the altar, carrying a live coal taken with tongs. It is not a symbol explained, it is an act performed. The coal touches Isaiah's mouth. What is unclean is addressed at its source. Guilt is removed, sin is taken away. The act is swift, decisive, and complete. There is no argument, no delay. The holiness that exposes also restores. The Lord then speaks. The voice that fills the space is not directed to Isaiah alone, but it reaches him fully. A question is asked, not born of uncertainty, but of purpose. Who will go? Who will speak? Who will carry the word forward? The question hangs in the space where fear once dominated. Isaiah answers. He does not negotiate. He does not ask for conditions. He offers himself. The moment marks the shift from vision to commission. What he has seen now demands response. The Lord sends him to a people who will hear but not understand, who will see but not perceive. His message will not bring immediate repentance or relief. It will harden and divide. Cities will be laid waste, houses left empty. The land will be stripped and abandoned. Yet destruction will not be total. A remnant will remain. Like a stump after a tree is cut down, life will persist beneath apparent ruin. This commission does not promise success by human measure. It promises faithfulness under weight. Isaiah receives it without retreat. The divine interruption is complete. Heaven has spoken, a man has been sent, and the long work of bearing this word into history begins.
Isaiah leaves the temple, carrying a word that will not lighten with time. The vision does not fade into memory. It settles into him, steady and unrelenting. The holiness he has seen reshapes how he sees everything else. The streets are the same. The people move as before. The rhythms of the city continue, yet nothing is untouched. The presence revealed in the temple now stands as the measure by which all things are weighed. Isaiah begins to speak as commanded, and the response unfolds exactly as given. The people listen, yet remain unmoved. Familiar words pass through familiar ears and settle nowhere deep enough to change direction. The nation continues forward along its chosen path. Worship continues, injustice continues, confidence rises and falls with circumstance. The message does not produce swift repentance or visible renewal. Instead, it meets resistance, misunderstanding, and indifference. Isaiah is not sent to prevent hardship from coming. He is sent to bear witness as it comes. Years pass, kings reign and fall, threats grow nearer, Assyria advances, cities to the north collapse and disappear from the map. Refugees move through the land carrying stories of loss and fear. Judah watches and trembles, yet does not fully turn. Isaiah's words grow heavier as events confirm them. He speaks of judgment unfolding, of arrogance humbled, of reliance on human strength exposed as fragile. He also speaks of a future beyond the present horizon, of restoration that will follow devastation, of a people preserved though cut down. These promises do not soften the immediate weight, they wait. Isaiah stands between what is revealed and what is resisted. His calling becomes a long endurance, marked not by visible success, but by unwavering obedience. The divine interruption has passed, but its consequences stretch forward through decades. The vision that once filled the temple now fills a lifetime, and the burden of faith grows heavy as history moves steadily toward the days he has been shown.
The years lengthen and the burden does not ease. Isaiah speaks and time answers him instead of the people. Seasons turn, children grow, kings change, the word remains. It does not adapt to mood or soften with repetition. It presses forward, steady and unyielding. Some dismiss it as too severe, others treat it as distant, meant for another time. Yet events begin to echo its warnings. Assyria's reach extends farther south, fortified cities fall, the northern kingdom collapses, its people scattered, its identity broken. Judah watches this destruction unfold like a distant fire, close enough to feel its heat, far enough to believe it can still escape. Isaiah continues to speak into this fragile confidence. He warns against trusting in alliances, against leaning on foreign powers for protection. He speaks of arrogance exposed, of leaders who mistake strategy for salvation. His words are not welcomed. They interrupt plans. They unsettle certainty. Some hear and grow uneasy. Others turn away. Still, the message stands. The weight of delay becomes its own trial. Isaiah is not granted the relief of seeing immediate change. Obedience stretches across years marked by silence and resistance. The Lord does not withdraw his word, nor does he hurry its fulfillment. The prophet walks through public rejection and private endurance, bearing a message that feels heavier with each passing season. Yet the word also carries promise, spoken quietly amid warnings of loss. A future remains, not immediate, not easy, but real. A people will not be erased. Judgment will not be the final act. These promises are not given to ease the present strain, but to anchor faith through it. Isaiah holds both truths together, judgment and hope, devastation and preservation. The long wait settles in fully now, not as a single moment of fear, but as a lifetime of faithfulness under the slow advance of history.
The pressure intensifies as Judah moves closer to the edge Isaiah has long described. Assyria does not disappear, it tightens its grip. Armies move with purpose. Cities that once felt secure now count supplies and measure walls. Fear settles into leadership councils and spreads quietly among the people. Messages are sent to foreign powers, tribute is gathered, plans are made that place hope in strength that can be seen and measured. Isaiah speaks again, warning that reliance on human protection will fail, that trust placed anywhere other than the Lord will not hold. His words cut across political strategy and expose fear beneath it. They are not received with gratitude. He is seen as a threat to stability, a voice that undermines morale. Yet events continue to unfold in alignment with what has been spoken. When Assyria turns its attention toward Jerusalem itself, the illusion of control collapses. The city is surrounded. The threat is immediate and overwhelming. Pride dissolves into desperation. The people who once dismissed warning now feel its weight pressing against their walls. In this crisis, Isaiah does not change his message. He does not claim credit. He does not retreat. He speaks as commanded, declaring that the Lord has seen, that the threat will not succeed as intended. Deliverance comes not by strategy or alliance, but by the hand of the Lord alone. The army withdraws, the city stands. Yet even this moment of rescue does not erase the long-term consequence of compromise. Isaiah continues to speak of a future exile still to come, of judgment delayed but not removed. The relief is real, but it is temporary. Faithfulness remains costly. The burden remains heavy. The prophet carries forward, knowing that obedience has spared the present, but the deeper reckoning waits ahead.
Relief fades and routine returns, but the weight does not lift. The city breathes again, yet the heart of the nation remains divided. Confidence resurfaces, shaped by survival rather than repentance. The memory of deliverance is honored in speech, but its meaning is not fully received. Isaiah continues to speak into this uneasy calm. He warns that pride can grow even after rescue, that mercy misunderstood can become permission to drift further. The word given to him does not change with circumstance. It exposes complacency as sharply as fear. Years pass, and leadership shifts once more. Prosperity appears in places, and with it a renewed sense of control. The people rebuild what was damaged, trade resumes, life settles. Yet beneath the surface, the same fractures remain. Isaiah speaks of consequences still ahead, of a power from the east that will one day carry Judah away. These words sound impossible to those enjoying peace. They are dismissed as excessive, as distant, as unnecessary. Still, they are spoken and preserved. The burden of faithfulness deepens as Isaiah watches warning after warning fall into familiar patterns of resistance. He is not permitted to soften the message to make it bearable. He is not allowed to retreat into silence. His role is not to manage outcomes, but to remain true to what has been revealed. Alongside declarations of judgment, visions of restoration continue to appear. A future king who will rule with righteousness, a people returned and renewed, a world reordered toward peace. These promises are not immediate solutions. They stand as distant lights, visible but unreachable from the present moment. Isaiah holds them without seeing their fulfillment. His life becomes a bridge between revelation and delay, between what has been shown and what will one day come. The long wait settles into its final shape, not crushing, but constant, carried forward by trust that the word spoken will stand, even when time itself seems to argue otherwise.
Time moves forward, and the words once dismissed begin to gather weight. A new power rises on the horizon, distant at first, then unmistakable. Babylon grows while Assyria fades, and the balance of fear shifts again. Judah watches events unfold beyond its borders, unaware that these movements align with warnings spoken long before. Pride returns in subtle forms. Security is measured by wealth, by diplomacy, by appearance. When envoys arrive from Babylon, curiosity replaces caution. Treasures are displayed, strength is assumed. Isaiah is called to speak once more, and his message is severe. What has been shown will be carried away. What is trusted will be lost. Sons will serve in foreign courts. The future spoken of is no longer abstract, it is named, it is set. The words fall heavy, not as punishment declared in anger, but as consequence revealed in clarity. The nation does not fall immediately. Years remain, life continues, yet direction has been fixed. The turning point has passed quietly, without collapse or fire. History has shifted beneath ordinary days. Isaiah's role does not change. He does not argue for reversal. He does not soften what has been spoken. He stands as witness to the truth that choices echo forward, shaping generations unseen. Judgment will come, not as chaos, but as order unfolding. Still, the word does not end in loss. Even as exile is named, return is promised. Even as ruin is declared, restoration is not withdrawn. A remnant will endure. Purpose will survive displacement. The Lord remains sovereign over judgment and mercy alike. The consequence is set, but the covenant is not erased. Isaiah speaks both without hesitation. The weight of the future presses close now, no longer distant or theoretical. The turning has occurred. What follows will move according to the word already given.
The years advance toward what has been spoken, and the shape of the future grows clearer even before it arrives. Power shifts among nations, and Judah finds itself small within larger designs. Kings act, advisors speak, and the people live their lives beneath movements they cannot control. What Isaiah declared no longer sounds distant. The idea of exile settles into the air like a slow shadow. Yet life does not pause. Fields are worked, children are born, the city stands. Normal days continue, and that normalcy itself becomes part of the consequence, for it allows the weight of what is coming to be carried quietly rather than faced directly. Isaiah continues to speak, not only of loss, but of what lies beyond it. He speaks of a people refined through displacement, of a return prepared long before captivity begins. He speaks of comfort spoken to those who will one day sit in a foreign land, of paths made straight where none seem possible. These words are preserved, though their listeners have not yet been born. The prophet's voice stretches forward, carried beyond his own time. The consequence unfolding is not the end of the story, but a passage through it. Judgment is not chaos released, but purpose revealed through correction. Even as the nation moves toward loss, the Lord speaks of renewal, of a future shaped by righteousness rather than pride. Isaiah does not live to see these events completed. His role is not to witness fulfillment, but to secure the word against time. What he speaks stands ready for generations who will need it. When exile comes, the words will already be waiting. When return begins, the promise will already be known. The turning has set history on its course, and the story moves forward, carrying both consequence and hope together, inseparable, preserved by the faithfulness of a man who spoke what he was given and entrusted the rest to the Lord.
Time stretches beyond the life of the prophet, and the weight of his words settles into generations he never met. What was spoken in warning becomes memory. What was given as promise becomes sustenance. The nation moves through loss and displacement exactly as declared. And in foreign places, the words of Isaiah are read again, not as distant prophecy, but as present reality. The language that once felt severe now carries familiarity. It names grief, it names longing, it names hope that refuses to disappear even when everything else is taken. The Lord is revealed not only as judge, but as keeper, not only as holy, but as faithful. Isaiah's words do not rush meaning. They allow it to emerge slowly, shaped by time and experience. Judgment is no longer abstract. Restoration is no longer theoretical. The people begin to understand that the covenant was never sustained by strength or location, but by the Lord Himself. What seemed like abandonment is revealed as discipline. What felt like silence is understood as patience. Across years of exile and return, the vision given long ago continues to speak without changing its voice. It does not adapt to circumstance, it remains steady. A people cut down is not destroyed. A promise delayed is not denied. Meaning settles not through explanation, but through endurance. The words survive fire and ruin because they were never dependent on comfort. They were shaped in holiness and carried through faithfulness. Isaiah's role is complete, yet his voice continues, woven into the life of a people, learning again what it means to belong to the Lord. The story has moved far from the temple vision where it began, yet it has not left it behind. The same holiness that once filled the space now fills history itself, guiding it forward with a purpose that does not hurry and does not fail.
The words endure beyond exile, beyond return, beyond the rebuilding of walls and the slow restoration of daily life. They are read in quiet gatherings and spoken aloud in places far from where they were first heard. Generations who did not witness the vision still feel its weight. They recognize themselves in the warnings and cling to the promises. The language of Isaiah becomes a lens through which suffering is understood and hope is sustained. It speaks of a servant who bears grief, of restoration that comes through humility rather than force, of a future where justice and peace are no longer fragile. These images do not resolve quickly, they wait. Meaning gathers gradually, shaped by centuries of reflection and expectation. The people learn that the Lord's work moves on a scale larger than any single lifetime. What once felt delayed now feels deliberate. What once seemed severe now reveals depth. The holiness revealed in the temple proves to be the same holiness guiding history with patience and precision. Isaiah's voice remains steady across time because it was never rooted in his own era alone. It reaches forward, inviting trust without explanation, faith without immediate proof. The story does not close with resolution, but with continuity. The covenant remains, the promise remains, the words remain, alive and active, waiting for their fullest expression. The story continues.
The passage of time does not weaken what has been spoken. Instead, it clarifies it. The words of Isaiah move quietly through history, finding their place in moments of waiting rather than moments of power. They are returned to again and again, not because they flatter, but because they tell the truth without urgency. They reveal a God who does not rush, who does not abandon his purposes, and who remains present even when his people feel far from home. The meaning settles slowly, like dust after a long journey. The people come to see that holiness was never meant to destroy them, but to restore what had been bent. That judgment was never the final word, but a necessary one. That hope was never shallow, but costly and enduring. Isaiah's life fades from view, but the vision he carried does not. It continues to speak into loss, into rebuilding, into longing that has not yet found its end. The story does not conclude with triumph or collapse, but with continuity. A people shaped by warning and promise, a history guided by faithfulness rather than chance, a word that remains steady when everything else changes. The meaning does not announce itself, it rests, it waits, it endures. And through it all, the voice that first filled the temple continues to govern time itself, unseen but unmoved, carrying the story forward beyond every ending. The story continues.